Yeah, man, what go on? What's good? What's popping? From here, the voice, you know, it's none other than Brando. And from here, our voice, you know, it's a top shelf review. Yeah, man, you're sure in your mind says a top shelf update. People, what go on? Bless up and big up on yourself. Now, if you never see my last review, more, you check it out. But I kind of do a recap and expound some more upon what I talk about in the last day with Vybz Kartel. Now, recently we heard that. Alright, so let me just get straight to the point. Like the video, I joke, I don't really that at the point. But when you like the video too, please remember to like the video. You know, as a man, let's tell you a small thing to you, but it's a big thing for me because it helps with the channel. So we call it the donation then to the channel or the admission. You know, before you go in, yeah. So give thanks. So like the video. Thank you, thank you, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. So as I'm saying, let me get to the point. Really are one of the points. Really and truly, this case they set for start, or this retrial hearing did set for start June 10 and supposed to last 5 days. That was what was printed in black and white. From the order come back from the king, for say that the Court of Appeal should decide if there should be a retrial, which I'm sure everybody's supposed to dep on the same terms by now for understand that this is not the retrial. This is a hearing to see if there should be a retrial / trial, right? So anyway, them they say 5 days. All of a sudden, me I hear say one next day I got added. But the next day is for the closing arguments. So both of them are going to submit closing arguments upon June the 18th, which is Tuesday. Maybe I wonder why the day skip out, I guess, after them gather everything together, get some time for put things together, which would be a work day, because you know over the weekend would be Saturday, Sunday. So both of them are offer submissions. And as I said to you before, it's not merely wishful thinking, but based on the aspects of the case that have been presented to us in the media. And remember, based on the aspects presented to us in the media, it would seem as if the prosecution never proved their case. Remember, the burden of proof rests with the prosecution. You get to me and say, just like in a trial, you are presumed innocent until proven guilty. So that means that the prosecution is supposed to prove you guilty. Other than that, you're innocent. So this day in the prosecution hands. Now, what the prosecution skillfully did when we realized when I said them are playing mind games is that them turn it upon the judge one way for say, here we go on. You see, if you have a 10% doubt, give the retrial. That is completely different, than if all of the factors point. That means if more than 50% point to a retrial, then you should give a retrial. Them now, I say, only in exceptional case, you should if you see that there's no, a matter of fact, let me make your ear for yourself. And then we talk some more around that issue here and when we think I could transpire.
Prosecutor Tugwell noted that acquittal or dismissal of the case should be seen by the Court of Appeal as a last resort option. She said dismissing the case should only be an option in exceptional circumstances where a fair trial was completely out of the question. The prosecution maintains that a fair trial for Kartel and his co-accused was still a strong possibility if the case is sent back for a retrial.
Right, that's what I talk about. Yeah. So the only way you should give an acquittal is if there's no way that there can be a fair trial. Because she realized, the prosecution realized that the major concern of the judge's mind is will there be a fair trial. Not in terms of evidence, not in a matter of fact, that in terms of it too, That in it too, But I think them realize that if any way how this Virginia Vybz Kartel are going to get acquitted, it's because the judge feel that there will not be a fair trial because his constitutional rights have been trampled upon before right throughout the 13 years. And therefore, she had tried to make the judge, as what I tell you now, mind games are played. So she had tried to say to the judge, are you sure She's trying to sow seeds of doubt into the judge's mind. For say, una absolutely sure say, him not get a fair trial? Una absolutely sure say the publicity is an issue? If it is that una have 10% doubt, make we go through same way. Can you imagine if you have 10% doubt? If you have 5% doubt? Make we go through with it. So if 95% of your brain I tell you say no retrial, you have to go with the 5% because you have to try to get absolute 100%. Nobody thinks like that. We are not robots. More than likely, of course, you are going to have some doubt. But if it is that you sure are more than likely there will be some whatever, then that is the favor the judge is going to rule.
During the morning session of Friday's hearing, Prosecutor Jeanette Forbes told the three-judge panel that sufficient safeguards existed to manage any risks that pretrial publicity may cause. Forbes urged the Court of Appeal to trust that an impaneled jury would take their oath seriously and not be unduly influenced.
More people for be cognizant of something, more people for remember something, for know something, for be aware of. You see what you see it take place right here, so she has say pre-trial, that means presumably there is a trial, right? So hypothetically speaking, if there is a retrial, then the publicity before should not be considered as much because the jury them are going to be under oath. And therefore, them are go. Me can ask now a question. On the think Privy Council would are okay with this? Me not think so. Because if it is that the Privy Council take out the juror misconduct point, did you know that after the juror was tainted, was left to remain, them still under oath, So if you are going to use the reasoning there and the logic there, right, them still under oath, But under oath no mean you can't operate under bias. I don't think people understand that, The fact information affect your mind whether you're under oath or not. And that's why I ask, would the Privy Council still go through with the party? Because the Privy Council, they have an issue for say, listen, TNT juror, it might bias their mind towards a certain end, and therefore, them still under oath, the oath no break, when the TNT juror did there, So how now you go draw one argument for say, no man, the preacher will not come, remember them under oath. Just trust them for do them job. Privy Council never trust them. That's why the convictions were quashed. Because of the tainted juror, even though the jury that remained were still under oath.
He says, despite the high publicity in the case, the judges should look at other high-profile matters in coming to their decision. Forbes highlighted the U.S. case of Bill Cosby and the South African case of Oscar Pistorius. Forbes said judges allowed those cases to proceed amid heightened publicity because of the interest of justice. Justice McDonald Bishop appeared unconvinced by the comparisons, pointing out that each case had to be judged on its own merit.
I point out this and explain it already. I'm going to do it again for those who miss it and compound it for those who heard it before. Reaffirm it. The reason why the judge say every case have to have them own merit and them the different. One, them go outside of the jurisdiction of Jamaica and give instances with Oscar Pistorius and Bill Cosby and say, boy, these men were popular and still they were given a fair trial. The judge never threw it out and said, no man, Bill Cosby popular, so try him. And to the man who hear this fussy man say, yo, but a good argument that. But hold on, make it go deeper. Sometimes it's good to stay up on the surface, You can enjoy yourself and breaststroke and arm stroke and stay up on yourself. But sometimes you have to dive deep, go down in the water to see what down there. You get to me, I say? And that's what I'm going to say to you right now. Remember, this case has been going on for 13 years. For 13 years, there have been persons who have formulated opinions upon whether Vybz Kartel guilty or innocent. For 13 years, persons have listened voice notes, listened to images, and all of them something there. And as I pointed out before, you cannot judge impact based on views alone. Let me show you what I mean. You will see a view on YouTube and think that's one person. That's not necessarily one person. That could be 10 person listening to a phone or 10 person listening to a TV. So one view does not always equate to one person. One or more persons. Not only that, for each person who view or listen, they are also going to have conversations and help to form conclusions and opinions in other person's mind. Therefore, for so just multiply 13 times the views times the possible impact of say average 5 per person per view, and you will see the amount of people who have been exposed to this thing. Plus Jamaica have a small country of 300. About 3 million. In comparison to our US, we have 300 million people, 300 million plus people, which is 100 times greater. So the probability of finding an unbiased jury would have been greater in the larger sample size, which is 300 million, in comparison to Vybz Kartel for the 3 million. That is why she say each case have a judge upon them own merit. Bill Cosby and Oscar Pistorius never get locked up for 13 years and then it a go a retrial. It was a straight trial. Probably if this conversation did come up at the time when Vybz Kartel just a get locked up, that would have different. But this is a different thing.
In closing the prosecution's case, Tugwell told the court that it was because prosecutors cared about Kartel and his co-accused why they wanted the case tried on its merit and not simply dismissed on a technicality. Final arguments in the case are set for Tuesday morning. It's unclear when the Court of Appeal will deliver its ruling.
Now this is laughable at best. Laughable at best. And this is a poor attempt by the prosecution to make it seem as if they are doing this in favor of Vybz Kartel and his co-accused. Reverse psychology. So they are saying that we are doing this in the interest of Vybz Kartel because he should not be let out on a technicality. Now, as what I said to you before, you see that word technicality in air quotes? What it really means is the negligence, the unprofessionalism of the prosecution and of the court system to provide Vybz Kartel with a fair trial in a reasonable time. To provide Vybz Kartel under his constitutional rights, innocent until proven guilty. That's where that technicality there is, because if it is that he walks free and he is acquitted, it's because the prosecution case not well put together for several reasons, or because of simply the time that has passed. And the time that has passed, the situation has not been remedied. So that technicality the way you talk about for make it seem like, oh, I never win him win. You ever say like, yeah, play pool yet and somebody scratch pan the 8 ball, I said them call it. Long time not play pool, So it's like basically, yeah, or like a own goal then. So it's like you said to me, say, nah man, remember, you score a own goal by yourself, And you're going to say to me, say, nah, man, I could play 20 more minutes. And an own goal, you want to win, pan. I could play 20 more minutes and you try to score one goal for yourself. That means you beat me. That means you prove, say you're better than me or you prove. So, nah, bro. The proof is in the prosecution. The burden of proof rests with the prosecution. They must prove that the client is guilty after he is presumed innocent, and they must do it in a fair way. There are certain rules where they must do it in a then. So it's like say you're supposed to beat the team, but there are certain rules of football. Just put all your man them arm right at the goal mouth there so and offside now player you can't kick down anybody. No, there's rules of engagement. And if you break the rules, you can't blame the ref. It's like you put the ball in the back of the net and you did offside. They ask a ref, but me score my goal. And ref I say, yeah, but you're there behind the last man at the defense. So offside that. You get what me I say? You now score a goal by yourself. And the referee say, point to the line and say goal. You gotta tell you gotta tell the man him say, dog, gonna really beat me, dog. Cause one goal. And we score 2 goal by ourselves and win 2-0. No man. Them still win, man. Them still I take it as a victory. So you can't use your brain right this and say, yo, approve one and prove them. Beat one and beat the system, man. And sure, without doubt, say them innocent. No. The burden of proof rests with the men are already innocent right now. Them not try to prove them innocence. Who not try to prove that there should be a real trial and thereafter prove that they are guilty. The proving rests with the prosecution. I rest my case. Nah, nothing else to say, but I know where I want to think. I'm out.